How's it going, everyone? I'm Snoop603, your host. This is the Game Speak, episode 14. Tonight we have a special guest, Jackfrags. Jack, why don't you say hi to everybody?
Hello, everyone. Thank you for having me on. I hope
That
we
is
have
my...
a good show.
Oh, yeah. That is my power on YouTube now. I'm able to tell Jackfrags to do as I say.
This is actually a soundboard, by the way. This isn't real.
Shit!
I pressed the wrong button!
Soundboard. Error.
And joining us as our usual guests, Epona and Scanner Barkley. Tonight, we actually got a lot of topics to cover in the forum. Unfortunately, I don't think we were able to grab them all. There was a couple in there, and we weren't able to grab any of the leftover topics from last week. But we do have a lot to discover. Jesus Christ. Go over tonight, and it's going to be good. We're going to start with Puppy because he dropped a metric fuck ton of topics for us to cover, which is great. That's what we like to see. We weren't able to grab them all, but we grabbed some of the more interesting ones that should provide a lot of good discussion tonight. So without further ado, we're going to get to the first of 7 topics that he came up from. So again, from Puppy, have you ever said or done something on YouTube that you regretted? Let Scanner jump off with this one.
On YouTube, no. I have just realized I've probably got the world's biggest lump of fucking pepper stuck to my tooth, though. Which is certainly interesting on a podcast. But on YouTube, no. I say like contentious stuff all the time, but I don't consider it to be contentious. Like I'm never like if you have the amount of time it takes for you to think of a comms, record a comms, render the comms, upload the comms, that's an awful lot of like cooling off period for whatever it is that you're gonna say. So once it's out there, there's no fucking point in regretting it. You said it, you thought about it, you wanted to say it at the time, you know, let it be. That's my rule.
Typical Scanner.
Yeah, for me, myself, way too many things to even count. I've definitely said some things I shouldn't have in hindsight regarding other YouTubers, but mistakes were made, and I got to live with that. But there was also some things I regret putting out because what I had said was grossly misinterpreted, and people ended up taking me just for an asshole for that as an end result, which sucked. That happens to me a lot. Apparently, I'm very terrible at getting what it is I mean across accurately, and I'm often misinterpreted a lot. There's a lot of misunderstandings with what I say and what people interpret it as, and that results in just usually a shit show in those instances where there's definitely a misinterpretation. But it happens. That's life, and you know, unless you're talking face to face with people, you really can't avoid it. Even though, I mean, certainly through text, it's very easy to misinterpret what people are saying. Through a YouTube video where you can get in the inflections and stuff, and you can really kind of put a little bit more of your personality into what you're saying, it's a little more difficult to be misinterpreted, but it still happens. So, I mean, that's it. I mean, there's some other stuff that we did in the past that at first I was like, yeah, those first videos we made were pretty shitty because we went back and listened to them. The audio was so bad. I completely understand why we never went anywhere. It was so bad. I understand why no one wanted to listen to it. But, I mean, that's it. Pretty much in a nutshell.
I think you come off as an asshole sometimes because you're a fucking asshole.
I mean, I am, but
You're both
I don't
assholes.
always need to be. There's a difference between intending
Just like
to be.
just be comfortable with yourself, man. You gotta sit there and you gotta think about who you are as a person, and you just gotta decide, fuck it. That's just me. That's just who I am. You don't like it, jog on.
That was what I didn't do when my answer to the question was yes. Early on, I listened to advice from people that I probably shouldn't have implemented in my first early videos, and now I just do whatever I want, which is get drunk and scream at things. So that's pretty much it.
I do love when you get drunk and scream at things.
Thank you. People find it entertaining. Some people think it's really obnoxious, and I just say fuck it. I just do it.
It's just you being you.
Exactly, man.
Yeah. For me, I mean, I sort of share a similar sentiment to Scanner. Like, no regrets. Like, you just be you, put it out there. But going back to what Snoop was saying, I do look back at some of my first videos, and I'm like, why did I ever release this? Like, the audio quality is terrible. You know, we were using Ventrilo back then, so it's so scratchy. The mic is clipping and puffing all the time, and I do cringe a little bit. Yeah, but in terms of like a single video, no, I don't really regret any. You've got ample opportunity before you upload a video to think about it before you hit live, and if you make a big mistake, then I guess that's on you. But no, I don't really regret anything that I've done on YouTube.
See, that's a testament though to. I hesitate to say a good YouTuber, but it certainly is a part of that, and someone that's willing to continue to improve themselves professionally. You go back and you see like, okay, what was it doing, and you see the room for improvement, and you act upon it if you can. And that was one of the big things I was able to do going forward. Yeah, you know what? There was another point to that, and I totally lost track of my train of thought. And that's.
You're also answering questions before they've been asked. I'm just going to point that out. That's very unprofessional, Snoop.
Was that another question down below? Fuck. Remember this conversation we had at the very beginning before we got started where I said I'm a very forgetful person?
Yeah.
There you go. There's proof in the pudding right there.
Put that on your list of regrets, mate.
Yep, that time Snoop was a dumbass. That's going to be a long list.
Daily. Updated daily.
All right. So, from Tapapi, question number 2. If you could rename your YouTube channel and still be guaranteed your current level of success, would you, and what would you change your online name to, and why or why not? Jack, I'm going to let you jump off on that one.
I'm going to go ahead and say no. I wouldn't change the name. I think my name originated from, I was working on like a Counter-Strike frag movie, and I used to have like an old alias. It was called Callisto. And it was like, I picked that when I was 12 years old. It was a female character from X-Men, right? It didn't really fit with like a 18-year-old guy who wanted to make, you know, YouTube videos and montages. So I was like, I got to change this. So I was like, well, Jack, what do you do in video games? You kill people. What's another name for kills? Frags. It's got that old school theme from like Quake, and it's just very simple. I think it's quite a memorable name, so it's worked out well for me. And no, I don't think I would change it.
What about you,
I like
Jess?
it. Well, I would just remove the Z. I have different names on different social media things, and I kind of regret it because, I don't know, it's splintering. But I just added a Z on the end of Epona because I like the letter Z, and Epona without a Z was taken. So that's pretty much the only reason. But I like my name. I think it's awesome. I would keep it without the Z.
Scanner, why not you go next?
No, I don't. I wouldn't change it. I like Scanner Barkley. I like the precedent of like no caps in it except in TeamSpeak when I'm playing Arma because fucking Arma's a bitch. You know, people shorten it to Scanner or Barkley as suits themselves, and you know, it's fine. Like people know who you're talking about when you say it. It's not similar to anybody else's like gamer tag. Like there's about 87,000 variations on Swifty, Swiftor, Swiftest, Swiftfist. You know,
Swift-faced.
Yeah, it's like there's only Scanner Barkley, so it's, you know, it's fine by me.
I would most definitely not change ours. I like it. It's stupid, but it's unique.
But where did Snoop come from?
Oh, Snoop was my own. That's a personal story. I'm speaking strictly to Shustybang. I have never and will never publicly tell the story behind where Snoop 603 came from. I was more than likely to share it with you afterwards, though. But
it involves butt stuff, basically.
Yes,
yeah.
Lots and lots of butt stuff.
Butt stuff. That can be many things.
Exactly.
It's the thing you're thinking.
With Snoop, it can be many things in his butt.
Well, either many little things or a few large. You know, there's options.
Whatever. He's malleable down there.
Apparently, on Urban Dictionary, Snoov means hello, greetings, and I'm going to kill you.
That sounds fucking perfect.
Yeah, that covers him.
Yeah.
That's Snoov in a nutshell.
Oh my god,
yeah.
I'll be back in a second.
I would never change the Shustybang thing. It's kind of what, like, we kind of went for the same line as what you did, Jack. You wanted something that was kind of FPS related in some way. And the Shusty part came from Fake Thriller, him and his friends in the Halo days. Like, before him and I even really were hanging out. And whenever someone would show up late, they'd be like, where's all the Shusting going on? And then we were just throwing out words, and we were trying to think of like gun sounds. So we had this long list, and Shusty was in there and Bang, and I was like, let's call it Shustybang. And he was like, all right, and it just stuck. It's so stupid, but I like it. Before I jump to the next topic, I want to see what the hell Scanner's getting.
Is he being attacked by some sort of animal, or?
Yeah, that's his Wolf of the North cloak.
That's my squeaky door. This is my Eddard Stark swag, bro. Difference between me and him is nobody ever tries to cut my fucking head off. We'll see if that's, if that like record is maintained after I go to PAX, or if there's a fucking queue of angry YouTubers with axes there waiting for me.
I already
you
have
guys all
mine
going to
sharpened.
PAX?
Nah.
Yeah, PAX East. You gonna be there?
No, I'm not, unfortunately.
Look at this guy.
Snoop and I are carpooling. That's how dedicated we are to going.
What? You're sharing vehicles?
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's same drive for her to go straight to my house first that it would be to go straight to Boston, and it's $45 per night per vehicle.
Yeah.
To pay for parking down there. It's a fucking nightmare.
Because the hotel's like right in the middle of the city. It's not like outside or anything.
Right. Yeah, that and it's right off the highway too, which is the best part about it. It's like, I don't know, maybe a quarter mile from the highway. It's awesome.
Yeah. Did you guys go last year or the year before?
Yep.
Both.
I went. Shit. Did I go?
My first year was 2013.
Yep. I went 11, 13, 14, and then I'll be going again for 15. It's
PAX
fun.
East?
Yep.
Yeah.
Sorry,
PAX East. Nope. Sorry. It's all right.
PAX East, is that the one is that like the biggest one, or is PAX Prime the biggest one?
PAX Prime's definitely the bigger one.
Right. Okay.
But it's still good.
The timing is kind of better too for Prime because it's after E3. So if you go to East and it's before anybody announces like their new shit for the year, so sometimes it's like not really that many new games or booths that you want to see.
But the timing is perfect for the Hardline booth to be there.
Yes. Correct.
yeah, I'm sure they'll have a stand there for that.
I'd be surprised if they didn't. Only because it's a big game. It'll probably be one of the biggest AAA releases coming out. It's gonna be featured there. I know the Bohemia Interactive team is gonna be there too, which is gonna be pretty sweet. And I'm a big DayZ fan right now, so it'd be nice to meet them. And then a bunch of DayZ streamers are gonna be there too. It'll be good stuff.
Sweet.
DayZ fan.
I do love DayZ.
And Minecraft now.
Oh, that's a discussion for later.
No, it's not. Let's just talk about Minecraft. Feed the beast.
All right, so I've never played Minecraft before. Last night, I was watching. I love the Mob Squad series from Hank and Jed. That shit's hilarious, and those guys are just funny as hell. Anyway, and then so I've been watching their new Neebsylvania Minecraft series on Neeb's gaming channel. And I just finally was like, okay, I got to try this game and see what the hell everyone's talking about. So I bought it last night, got it installed, got set up with Pixel Rep, and he was like, yeah, get on my server, get this mod pack. I was set up and up and playing in like 15 minutes from the time I bought the game to actually like playing. And I played for 4.5 hours straight. I could not put that fucking game down. Like at one point, Jess was like, "Holy shit, it's late! I gotta go to sleep." And I was like, "Oh yeah, I gotta be up for work in 5 hours." I was like, "All right, just as soon as sunrise is here, I'll be good." Yeah, no, another hour I think I played before I was like, "Okay, I really need to go to bed."
I think Minecraft for me, like I played a lot of it when it was in alpha and beta, and for me personally, like the initial first couple of weeks was amazing. It was like, holy shit, there's nothing else like this. But then I just got really bored of it. And I know since then it's had like a load of updates, like there's so many mods and stuff you can do. But I just can't find it in me to sort of get back into it. But like, what were your first impressions of it? Like, what captivated you?
Oh, dude, it wasn't even captivating at first. It was fucking overwhelming.
Yeah. Well, because it was Feed the Beast, so it's like 150 mods activated on the server that we were playing on. So Snoop was like,
what do I do?
Yeah.
Yeah. I was already a little
overtired. The best part was Snoop kept dying.
Dude, I kept spawning back in my base. There's fucking Enderman everywhere.
Because you dug into a fucking cavern like an idiot that probably had like half a dozen spawners in it, just puking out monsters on top of
Every 5 minutes. Oh shit! Oh! Snoop has been slain.
Yeah, Snoov has been slain by a tiny, inconsequential monster who happened to kill him because there was hundreds of the fuckers.
Hey, those mini Endermans are no fucking joke. I got double
I just
teamed
don't
on
look at him,
those.
man. I can't meet him in the eye. It's like a taxman or a fucking police officer. You just don't look him in the face.
That's scary.
That's how I
Dude,
treat
I've
him.
had nightmares.
Yeah, but I mean, it was, I don't know, just being able to run around like and just I started digging and like okay, and I guess the engineer in me took over. I was like, oh look at this, this is nice and squared off and looking nice and pretty and uniform. And then I started digging a little more. I'm like, yeah, and then I started planning like just the overall landscape for where I wanted to start building my building. But it was like strictly like, okay, I'm gonna start putting together all my materials, and I got those all nice and organized in their chests. And then I started, you know, doing like the actual landscaping part, clear all those trees, level out the land, get it all nice and squared away. And I couldn't shut down just like the builder in my head. And I didn't even really do anything yesterday except for mine some like marble and shit. But I'm already thinking like 20 hours ahead of where I'm at. And that was the part that was captivating about me. Not what I was doing, but what I was planning to do. I have no idea if I'm even going to play this game for 100 hours. I think I probably will about that, but I don't know if I'll even get to that. It's the whole idea of it was, it was supposed to be like a stupid fun game I could hop on with Jess and whoever, and like require not a whole lot of like serious thought put into it. Just something really mindless that I can use to kind of distract and de-stress. That's what I use my gaming for most of the time anyway.
Yeah, it's a massive time sink, isn't it? You just sort of like, I remember just playing it and thinking, oh, I'll just want to, you know, build like a basic wooden house. I'll be about half an hour or something, and 4 hours later, you know, you've been mining, you've got some diamond, you've built a fucking castle, and it's like, holy shit, I should really go to bed. Like,
5 a.m. Oops.
do you guys have like the Minecraft OCD, where if like there's one block out of place, like, you know, like cobblestone instead of dirt, you have to remove it and replace it?
Yes.
Yep.
You should see Snoop's cave. It's like scary.
Well, I made my cave, right? And I'm going through, and I accidentally, I didn't realize I dug a little too far into the hill, and I just popped open one cube in a pond, and it started flooding in. I was like, oh, quick! And I just threw up a block of dirt there. And then there was like some sand blocks here, and then some random like iron ore or whatever, I don't know. And I was like, okay, the room's squared away, and that's all I cared about at first. Well, I come back to the room like an hour later. I'm like, oh, all right, I'll put my oven in here, and I was gonna go make a bed. Realized I didn't have the materials, whatever. I'm looking, I'm like, I don't like that dirt there. So I go over, chip it out, and I'm like, I put down a couple of like, I don't even know what I put down, but it was some sort of stone. Then I come back like a half an hour later. I'm like, well, that stone doesn't match the rest of them. Fuck. So I cut that out, and I cut out a big square along the floor, and I put down like another bunch of stone. I'm like, okay, now that section matches. I come back another half later. I'm like, fuck, that wall doesn't look good. And it just like, it took on a life of its own, and I got really anal about it.
This is something you should be either streaming or recording, I feel.
He's either Snoop's gonna end up being like Minecraft dwarf. Like he's just gonna live underground, getting everything perfectly fucking neat and tidy. And someday the rest of us on the server are gonna realize that the fucking world we walk around on is hollow.
Dude, I had that thought because like where I was gonna build, like whatever, I don't know what I was gonna build for building. I had my spot set up. It was overlooking the ocean. I had a plan for, oh shit, my dad's calling me. Sorry, Dad. I had a plan for like this nice deck to overhang the water. It's gonna be glorious. And unfortunately, fortunately, there was a quarry right there, not a quarry. Whatever. There was a big block of fucking marble that just happened to be like I dug out 2 blocks of dirt, and I'm like, oh look, marble. And then all of a sudden it expanded more than half the area where I'm going to build my, proposed house. And I'm like, well, fuck. And I kept digging and digging, and I did it all by hand, and I got halfway through before Pixel Rep's like, oh, by the way, you can build machinery that'll do that for you. Like, nope, dedicated. I'm doing this by hand. I'm going to finish this. And I set it all aside, and now I just got this huge fucking cavern under where I'm going to build my house. Now I'm thinking, like, Scanner's onto something. I should just build like a small hut above and then put just my magnificent city all underground. It'd be great.
Yeah, like an iceberg.
I'm already addicted to this game.
Little chimney that sticks out of the ground. And then you go inside and it's this warrenous, cavernous collection of rooms and fucking spiraling staircases. It would be incredible.
It's possible. You can do it. That should be your new objective, Snoop.
I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna make the most glorious underground city you people have ever seen. I'm gonna make Thorn Oakenshield weep with jealousy.
I've seen 4.
Okay.
So.
First of all, I'm Thorn Oakenshield because I'm digging out my mountains, and it's gonna be glorious.
But you built it like outside. Come on, what are you?
No, it's in the mountain, and then there are paths
it's
between the mountains. This is phase 1. You'll see. Just sit down.
All
please.
I had to do to wreck this podcast was bring up Minecraft. That was it.
Yeah.
You're terrible.
All
All right, let's go on to the puppy's new question.
Yeah, this one's a good one. So another one from Tapuppy. What is your all-time favorite piece of content you have produced, YouTube or elsewhere on the interwebs? Actually, and Jess just made a really good point. Should we provide a link to our fans? Yes, we should. Does anyone want to jump on this? I had mine ready.
I said
but now
favorites,
I have.
not
What?
Fans. Nothing. Continue.
What'd you say? Oh, I want to grab the link for mine. And I'm unfortunately I got it. Okay, I can multitask. I got this. This is great. Without a doubt, the joke USAS 12 review that Chris and I did for Battlefield 3 on April Fool's Day. That a lot of people at first took it for like serious. And then once we really started getting through the the joke weapon stats, it became incredibly obvious that no, it was not serious. Because everything we did was for the close range damage stats and the long range. It's like at close range is Hiroshima and Nagasaki, and at long range it's oh my god, here comes a lav. It was hands down my favorite video we ever made. There's a couple other ones that were like contenders, but that one I still laugh at when I go back and listen to.
So you just completely made up all the weapon stats?
100% of it. Oh man, I wish I gotta wait for the ad to roll through, but I'll pull it up and I'll I'll tell you what they were because they were good.
Just complete bullshit. Just make it all up. I like that. That's cool.
Yeah. Well, at the time we did it, they hadn't patched it yet, so it was like this absurdly good gun, and you were just fucking wrecking people from everywhere. And we were thinking, at that time we were doing 2 weapon reviews a week still. So we're like, we should do one for, we should do something for April Fool's Day. I was like, oh, dude, let's do something USAS 12, and it just kind of evolved. Okay, so we did place of origin, mag capacity, fire rate, fire type, reload, and damage. So place of origin was South Korea. Magazine was 6+1 rounds. Fire rate 275 rounds per minute. But oh fuck! I grabbed the wrong one. I was like, wait a minute, this all sounds normal.
You dumbass.
I am.
That's how much you loved it. Apparently, you didn't even recognize it.
I know, I'm an idiot.
Like
well, motherfucker.
We'll leave you
right,
to
anyway,
your...
someone else go. Someone else.
like a
Fucking angry.
prom night baby.
Prom night dumpster baby.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I'm just a prom night dumpster baby. Alright, I found it. Alright,
Yeah.
place of origin was Fires of Mount Doom. Mag capacity was 6 laser death balls to 11 laser death balls. Fire rate was 275 kills per minute. Fire type was easy mode, or you could switch it to easy mode. Reload time was fast enough for the enemy team to respawn. And then damage was Hiroshima and Nagasaki at close range. And oh my god, here comes the lav at long range. I love that video. Alright, I'm done talking. Someone please take over.
My favorite content that I made was actually back when the DayZ mod was around. I knew absolutely nothing about it, and my friend Zerkos took me through the game a bit and was kind of showing me around. And at that time, I was even worse at playing any kind of, like... DayZ is not even a scary game, but just the fact that the zombies would chase you. I don't like being chased. I don't care if it's in a game or if it's in real life. I freak the fuck out, so I would just mostly be screaming and being terrified and just, like, putting memes all over the screen. But I just thought it was so fun. It was such a good time. Colin's Angels with Deku, Colin, and Nathy was also really fun. But if I had to pick a serious video, recently I did the depression and anxiety video, and people really responded to that one. It was kind of touching. A surprising number of people reached out and either said thank you or they shared their stories, and that was just something that I found really interesting and was really grateful for, to be able to help people like that. So that was my serious choice.
Nice. I'll jump in. My favorite piece of content is the Don't Taxi to Transport video that I did, because it was like, it's pretty unique for what it is, and it's funny and it's kind of goofy, but it's also got like a PTFO vibe, which I like. And everything about it actually works. Like, it was a very considered video. From the music I used to the black and white conversion is actually styled off, 1940s black and white conversions. The frame rate is way below 30 FPS on it to get that like flickering newsreel thing, and everything about it is considered to make it better as a whole. But the best thing about it is, like, everybody thinks that most of it was staged, but only one shot that I used in the whole thing was staged. The one of the helicopter just flying straight into the bulb, as I like to call it, on Rogue Transmission. Everything else is pulled straight out of servers. Everything else is just people being fucking goofy and stupid. And I think that's why it works so well. So, definitely that one. It was good from concept to creation. It pleased me.
I'll tell you what my favorite Jack video is. I think point at all the things. That's your video, right? It's on your channel? I can't remember. But yeah. Oh my god, I died. I watched that 5 times in a row, I think. I pointed at all the things. Sorry,
yeah,
I had
dumb.
to.
It's so stupid as well. Like, the idea for it, I was at E3 2013 before the game had come out, Battlefield 4. And they gave me like an hour to play, like on the, in the exhibition floor. They were like, all right, there you go, there's your hour, record whatever you want. And at the time, in that build of the game, when you spotted people, it just did this stupid pointing animation, and there was no cooldown on it either. So you could just, I've just got. Like, I just subconsciously spot people now. I'm just always tapping Q, tapping Q. So my character was just pointing, like, non-stop. And I just thought, as I was playing, wouldn't it be stupid if you could make a really dumb song about this? And then I just wrote some ideas down and, went to Boy in a Band. He's the guy that produced the music for it. And then we came up with the lyrics, and that was that. But no, I'm glad you like that. Thank you very much. But I don't really have one particular favorite video. I have, like, 4 that I really care about because of the amount of time and like planning and everything that went into it. The first one I'd say is the Only in Battlefield 3 video. Back in Battlefield 3, DICE had a competition to make like a video, and it could have just been gameplay, like a Battlefield moment or whatever, but I spent the best part of 3 weeks creating a 1-minute 45-second trailer, which was all in game, and the amount of time I just spent like changing a single frame or adding a sound. Back then, the Battlefield 3 sounds hadn't actually been ripped from the game, so I played through the entire single-player campaign, recorded it all, and then took out all the sounds that I wanted. All the soldiers saying like "go go go" and RPG and all the cool shit from the single player that you don't have in the multiplayer, and then added that to the trailer. It's something that the DICE video team do so well. They add all these sounds that aren't actually in the game, but when you see the trailer, it's like, holy shit, that looks and sounds amazing. So that's one of them. The second one was The Wrath of Silas, episode 1. That was like a scripted DayZ video, but it was portrayed to the audience as if it was just me and my friend playing on a server, and then all this crazy shit starts to happen. And it turns out that the players in the server are actually NPCs that have a conscience, but they don't know that they're in a video game. So there's characters in there, and all this sort of weird shit happens that you would only ever see really in DayZ if it was scripted. But a lot of people originally actually thought that it was real, but it's kind of obvious if you watched it that, come on, like, this sort of stuff wouldn't happen. There's not a guy called Blake who's got a really stupid accent and comes in and saves you at the end. It's multiple camera angles and all this shit. But that was really fun, and I did 2 episodes of that. But that just took an incredible amount of time and work. And I also relied on a lot of friends for voice acting and for acting in the game who don't do YouTube as a job. So they would come home from work, and then I'd be on Steam going, you got 20 minutes to just help me do this, and then it would be like 2 hours later, and I'm sure they were pissed off with me, and eventually I just felt so bad because, they agreed to help me and everything, but they were probably just doing it because they were my mate, you know. So that didn't really finish. I actually wrote the script for the third episode, but just didn't get around to filming it. Third video is the Call of Duty versus Battlefield rap battle. Again, that's something I did with Boy in a Band. And that was just meticulously planned for a few weeks, and we had several, you know, meetups discussing the lyrics, and I pretty much wrote an essay about the differences between Call of Duty and Battlefield, and then we took that and turned it into like individual sections, and then we were like, okay, how can we make that section or that little argument into a diss that we could put into like a rap battle. And then the editing process of that took ages as well. And then finally, I'd say it's a very recent video I've done called Gaming Zeitgeist, where it's like a roundup of all the games that came out in 2014. And I posted it just before the new year. And yeah, I basically downloaded a load of trailers, recorded a load of gameplay, and edited it down into like a 5-minute sort of trailer. And reading the comments on that video was really cool, because gaming to a lot of people isn't just wasting time. It's more than that. It's about you know, going on a ride, or like having great experiences with your friends, or you know, hearing a good story. You know, something like The Last of Us, for example. You really get emotionally connected with those characters, and if gaming wasn't around, you couldn't have that. The only thing you would have is movies, and you know, that's why I love gaming. It's just such a different form of entertainment, and it's new and fresh, and you can have emotions like that. And that trailer, I spent so much time on it that I just you know, I really like that video. Yeah, there we go.
Nice.
Dude, that points at all the things in the COD versus Battlefield were two of my favorite videos you did.
Yeah.
They were fantastic. That points at all the things had me on my ass. I was laughing so hard.
I'd love to see a meeting of the minds between Rusty Recoil and Jack on like a music video, because Pointing All the Things is so good, and Rusty's LVG video is fucking amazing. I'd love to see that. A combo wombo. God, it would be awesome.
Make it happen. Scanner be the guy that puts everyone together. Like,
I'm the greaser of wheels, mate.
Yeah, like, I have this grand vision that requires you and you to get together. Yeah, but dude, he's a prick. No, I spoken. Do it.
Yeah, do it. Don't matter what you think of each other. You must please the Barkley.
Rusty Recoil's the guy that did that fake UFO video, isn't he?
Yeah.
On Propaganda. God, I love that so much. He did that song as well with Kim Jong-un, right?
Yeah. That broke me. The Kim Jong-un thing, fucking... I was useless for about an hour after I watched it. I was just laughing. Just the dance. He's got the statue dancing and shit. Holy fuck. I don't know how his mind works, but that's part of the charm. Like, I don't even understand how he looks at games and sees what he sees and then makes what he makes. Fucking incredible stuff. I don't know how it's...
Alright, we're going to move on to the next topic. We got a lot more to cover. This one will probably be quick. Still from the Tapuppy. What is your least favorite piece of content you've ever produced? That's an easy one for me. Fixo and I did this live com. We did a spawn trap on Noah's Ark Canals on Battlefield 3. And like at the time, we're just like, it'd be kind of funny to see, even though it's a real dick thing. But we still get hate comments. Like, oh my god, that video is over 3 years old now. And I just got a comment last week about someone calling us assholes. So, that's the only one that I would, that's my least favorite, because it still spawns so much negativity. I should just delete the damn thing at this point.
No, money, man. It's YouTube views, baby.
Yeah, but people, I don't like people calling me bad names.
No, yeah. Then why the fuck do you talk
Scanner
about
calls you,
it?
yes! Scanner calls you
Because
bad names every
deep
day.
down, I know Scanner really has a bro crush on me, so it's fine. I put up with it.
Yeah, I have a thing for fat, stupid bastards.
You do.
Can't get over it.
Sky Love. Don't make me start singing the song from Scrubs.
Oh god, we're not doing that.
Happens
You
often.
and Chris can go off and hug and take a stroll through the fucking fields of wherever the ass you live and sing
Chris
that
and
song
I-
to each other.
If Chris and I are JD and Turk, he is definitely the JD in this relationship because he's a little
Bullshit.
We were discussing which one of us were Turk and JD the other day, so I'm a little offended that now you've moved on so quickly to Scanner. But it's fine.
I'm sorry. I have a
You
lot.
keep it. Don't worry about it. It's no conversation for me.
Derailed as usual. Someone else jump in.
Sorry, least favorite. Just, old commentaries. First commentary. That's it.
Yeah, same. Like, my thing about him is that it's because I understand how much better I am at making content now, in all the ways that if you're doing anything, you want to get better. So you go back and you look at your early stuff. You're like, it's rough, it's horrible, you're insecure, you feel awkward on the mic, your mic is shit anyway, all that kind of stuff. But that said, I'd never delete it because it annoys me when I go back on other people's channels and their early stuff is gone. It's like, come on, it was still your content. It was still part of the journey. Don't delete it. Like, leave it up and let other people who look at your channel and think, oh, maybe I want to, make fucking YouTube videos and stuff. Let them go back and see that you started in exactly the same place that they did. So, I don't like it, but to answer the earlier question, I don't regret it either.
Gotcha.
Yeah, full circle. Suck me.
No.
All right, Jack.
Well,
What about you?
Least favorite piece of content. Again, there's not one single one that comes to mind, but it's just like when I started out. One day I had this realization that for my commentaries, I didn't just have to do them all live in one take. I don't. For some reason, I used to think that I just had to sit there in front of Sony Vegas for as long as my footage went, and then just talk about it, and then just render it. I don't know why. And then one day I realized, you know what? I can just edit my commentary as well. I don't have to do it all live. I can make notes, right? God, who would ever think of that? Make notes. So yeah, it's just probably some of my older vids, but I like it. I wouldn't delete them. They're part of what this whole YouTube thing's about.
Dude, I'm so glad I'm not the only one that went years of just like putting together these really long, broken up commentaries, and then before finally realizing I could just edit that and clean it up and make it sound so much better.
Yes!
It took me years, and then one day I was like, fucking easy this would be if I just threw this in Vegas real quick, because I prefer Vegas over Adobe Premiere in that sense. It's wicked quick and easy to cut up audio files in that. And all of a sudden, like a 13, 14-minute commentary, if I cut down all the pauses and the ums and the ahs and anything I repeat myself, I cut out like almost 4 minutes of just nothingness. I still get the same point across, but it's just the point. Huge
My pauses are carefully measured.
No, I can't do your aim.
I'm just too lazy to cut them out. If you don't like them, just fucking don't watch the video. Like, it's basic. It's basic for me. I've got limited fucks to give, and none of them are for that particular that you don't like in my commentary. I'm afraid.
All right, I'm gonna skip the next one to Puppy because it's where I want to get to other topics too. But the next one he had: how many games you purchased but never played? This one I thought was pretty interesting, seeing what everyone's played. I'm a low man on the totem pole here, big surprise, and I only have actually 54 games. I originally wrote 56. That's wrong. Apparently there was 2 demos that Steam made available in there that have since disappeared. And of the 54 games I have purchased, I haven't played 12 of them. I do plan on getting to them soon, but yeah, 12 out of 54 I have not played. That's not too bad.
That's not bad at all.
No.
Well,
I'm a frugal gamer. For the most part, I don't buy it unless I absolutely plan on playing it.
I have about 160 games in my Steam library alone, and I've probably played only 2/3. It hurts my heart to look at how many I haven't played or how many I have uninstalled.
That's absurd. That means you have
hours.
about 53 games you have never played.
Yeah, but that's not a bad thing. I'll make my point in a little minute, but it's not a bad thing.
Go ahead, make your point. I'm done, man. That's all I have to say.
All right, cool. So I've got about I've got like 370 plus games in my Steam, and then whatever many like random dozens of like DRM free indie games and older games, and then like 30, 40 games in Origin and all this shit, and games all over the place, fucking hanging out of hard drives on my computer, and like a huge amount of them will have a very small amount of time played in the game, like maybe 15-20 minutes, like just like a little poke, to see how it is, like checking a cake in the oven, just give it a little poke, see if it's done. And then they sit there and they wait. And when the time is right, I play the game. Sometimes I forget about the game and I'm scrolling through my list. I'm thinking, what will I play? And it's this really awesome surprise when I see this game that I genuinely forgot I even fucking bought. And it's like, holy shit, I forgot I bought that. And I install it and I play it. It's nice. It's not... I read this great article during the week about how like we almost used like the big game libraries as this thing where it's bad to have all these games that you haven't played, but it, looked at it another way, it's actually quite good because it's like little fucking, the moment will line up and the game will be there. It's like you don't have to buy it, you don't have to do anything, you don't have to download anything. It's just there waiting for you to finish up with the slutty games that you're playing now. And settle down for the homely, intelligent, caring game that it thinks it is. That's my reasoning.
Sorry, I was going to jump in on the end of that, but I got distracted in the chat because we were talking about games and recent purchases. And Gaming with Max said my recent purchase is Robot Roller Derby Disco Dodgeball. I want to interject in there saying how amazing that game is. He just went... sorry, what?
What's that game about?
It's a first-person shooter.
Indie.
You're a little robot on a wheel, and you shoot dodgeballs at other robots. It's made by this guy, Eric Musin. Oh, shit, I think I got his last name wrong. Good dude. Scanner put me onto this game, and we actually met him last year at the indie booth at PAX East. And from talking to him, it sounded like he just showed up last minute. And he was there with like his dining room table and 2 dining room chairs and just 2 PCs set up so that people could play it. Actually, no, I think he had 4 PCs. It's fun.
There was
it's
4.
A cheap,
yeah.
Okay, yeah, it's a cheap game. Really good for a quick, fun couple of hours worth of gameplay. I love it. I actually haven't played it in a couple of weeks. I got to get back in and play that again.
Eric stole my thunder earlier on Twitter.
What'd he say?
Total Biscuit did like a, WTF of the game, and it ended up on War Games. So everybody's talking about it, and lots of people are buying it and all the rest of it. And there was this dude in the comments on the video, and he was like, I'd love to get this game. Like, I can't wait to be able to buy it and play it. So a few people asked him, like, it's a cheap game on Steam, and people were asking him, why can't you get it now? And he's like, I got hit by a car, which fucking sucks. And he can't work, and his medical bills are piling up, and he just can't justify buying any game at all. So I said to him, like, fucking add me on Steam, I'll buy you the game. Like, that sucks that you got hit by a fucking car, so I'll buy you the game. People have bought me games, and I know what being sick is like, and it's shitty. So this is just me paying it forward, like. And I walked away from Reddit. I came back about an hour later. The guy had replied saying, thank you so much, and he left his name and whatever. But then 2 minutes later, he put up a new comment going, Scanner, don't worry about it. Eric has sent me a key. And I'm like, Eric, you bastard. That was going to be my good deed for the day. Asshole.
Is it a multiplayer game?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's, what's the max? I think it's a max of 12 players per room. Or is it 16? Now I can't remember. Scanner, help me out. Is it 12 or 16?
I can't remember everything. I've got fucking 400 games on my Steam.
I feel like 12 sounds more like it. Because
they're
small arenas, relatively.
Yeah. It's so much fun, though. You can... one of the things he added recently was in-map power-ups that you can pick up. So sometimes you can either get jetpacks, so you can fly around a little bit. You can get super bounce. You can get homing balls. So they're not like a dead lock-on shot, but they do track the player a little bit more. You get laser shot because everything, it's kind of like a Battlefield in the sense that the balls actually have drop to them, so you have to arc them. It's not that extent, but you know what I mean.
It's like Battlefield in that most of the robots stand on roofs
But yeah, you get the laser shot, so everything just beelines and goes pretty fast. You can turbo boost around. You get infinite turbo. You get a big wheel so that you don't get stuck on the edge. Like if you're running along like this platform and your wheel just catches the edge a little bit, you get stuck and you get fucked over every time. So there's a lot of little things like that to it. It is a ton of fun. I can't recommend that game enough. I actually did a review for it on Dawnbreaker like a couple months ago, and I actually got a fair amount of people into that game between that and a video I did on it too.
Yeah,
The game's a ton of fun.
It looks cool. I'm just watching a little video of it now.
Eric deserves some success with it too, because he's very open with its development, and he keeps you like constantly up to date, constantly with patches, like nearly weekly patches while that thing was in early access. There was changes and all the rest of it. He was constantly giving away keys on Reddit during the early access phase to just make sure that enough people were playing it and that he was getting enough like varied feedback. He's a good dude. Like I've never spoken to him at all. I've only ever seen how he acts in public, and I've interacted with him a bit on Twitter. But he seems like a genuine, nice chap.
He is.
So I hope it does well for him.
Yeah, from meeting him and talking to him at PAX, he definitely seemed like a very genuinely nice dude. Was really open, down to earth, and just genuinely seemed to be having fun with this game. I'm really stoked. It's always nice to meet people behind the scenes of their games, especially this guy. I mean, he built the game entirely alone, and he's been working on it for a couple of years now. And I wish him all the success with this. Like I said, he's a good dude, and it's a good, fun game. So I hope it blows up for him. Having Total Biscuit, of all people, do a big shout out on the game, that's gonna be fucking huge for it. I actually gotta go watch this video because I'm curious to see what TB had to say about the game.
Yeah, he was pretty positive on it, which was nice.
Yeah. Just bailed on us. What a jerk.
What a dumbass.
Skinner, what do you think? Should we handle this last one, or should we move on to the others in the interest of time? Because we've been at this for about 45 minutes now, and there's actually quite the list of topics left. You know what?
I like this one. I'll be honest. I really like this one. Like,
okay, that's fine. I had enough.
Yes, I didn't want to skip it because you got nothing to say. Cause
no.
The child
I
inside
asked your opinion.
You hate him.
No, I asked your opinion, you dick. So yeah, if you want to go for it. No, all right. So last topic from Tapuppy. If you could come up with the idea for a game and it would most definitely be created, what game would you create? So an example would be he personally would make an MMO FPS RPG in much the same fashion as PlanetSide 2, but with a bigger emphasis on gear grinding and collecting, and a monthly sub fee rather than free-to-play with microtransactions. Post-apocalyptic setting akin to Fallout with warring player factions, having both PvP and PvE elements akin to World of Warcraft or EQ. I don't know what EQ is.
EverQuest?
Yeah.
Okay. So, Scanner, what would be your ideal game? What game would you create if it would most definitely be created?
I have a lot of ideas for games, as I think most gamers do. Like, we sit there and we think, oh, this would be cool, and this would be cool, and this would be cool. But if I could guarantee that one game idea of mine existed, it'd be this idea I have called Homeless. So the game itself would actually be like a pixel art style, but kind of like dank and dreary and kind of funky. Think Devolver Digital, the way a lot of their dev teams do their pixel art. But it'd be like a survival game, like a reverse zombie survival game, basically. You'd play like a homeless, person, I guess. And rather than having all these like shuffling zombies endlessly coming at you, trying to kill you, it would be almost impossible to get the attention of the people who were all around you. And you'd have to like figure out ways to like break through and try and get their attention and interact with them. Or like find your food or find your shelter, maybe deal with like addictions and illness and general life on the street stuff. So I think it's one of those games where you could say something about the way that some people, are forced to live by doing it within interesting, challenging game mechanics. So, you wouldn't have to like layer on social commentary with a ladle, because that would be inherently part of the game. And if people picked up on what they were experiencing and like took it out onto the street with them, then fair enough. But if they didn't, it doesn't matter. It doesn't impact the game one way or another, no matter how they actually approach it. So like something like that would be fun, because I'd have these little balance systems in place where if you were really, really hungry, you know, maybe you can steal, like maybe you can mug somebody and take their money, but there's a price to pay with regard to your self-esteem, because you're kind of losing yourself, you know, who you felt you were before you became homeless versus the desperation of your circumstances forcing you to kind of reevaluate your moral compass. So you'd have to do this like constant kind of balancing act of like there'd be a cause and effect built into the game. I think it could be quite interesting. That's the one I'd make.
That's
just so I
deep
could
shit,
be a
man.
fuck. Just so I could
really
be a
deep.
fucking prick about it, basically. I'm like, yeah, look at the game I made. Social commentary, suckers. Bite me. It'd be great.
Sounds like the sort of game David Goldfarb would make.
Yeah. Maybe I can get his new guys, the Outriders. I can get or the Outsiders. I can get them to make it up for me.
Send
Give me
me
a
a design
percentage.
document.
Yeah.
Come on,
Yeah.
guys. Make
I was
this
like,
fucking
yo,
game.
Goldfarb. You
What
know
up?
me off Twitter. Nah. Let's go into business together, bro.
I like his cat.
Oh,
Really?
man. Yeah, that's it.
He has a raccoon, right?
He tweets his cat all the time. Sorry.
Yeah,
Had
he
to
is a
add
cat
that.
person.
My game
Dogs
was
so much
fucking
better.
Animorphs, because I know there have been a couple attempts at an Animorphs game, but I want full-on open-world RPG co-op with up to 5 other people that can be your Animorph bros. Maybe MMO with PvP against like the Yerk faction. All I know is that I want to turn into an animal and I want to wreck shit with said animal, or I want to fly around like an eagle or sneak around as a rat. The last game I played where you could be the animals was Space Station Silicon Valley for N64. That was a good one. And I forgot that game existed until I was talking about this topic. So thank you for reminding me of those excellent memories.
Animorphs are books, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's this group of kids. I was really into it in middle school. It's this group of like 7th graders, or I don't know. They're supposed to be preteens or teens or something. And these aliens come, and there are the bad aliens invading Earth. They're slugs that go in your ear, and they mind control you. And then the good alien comes and gives them the power to turn into animals, so they can touch an animal, and then they can turn into it.
Nice.
So that was awesome. So I want that.
What do they do when they're animals? What sort of stuff do they get up to?
Oh, they fight. They fight the bad guys.
Do they fight other animals?
They fight the bad aliens.
I was just about to say, Jack, are you trying not to giggle?
Are you?
I never
You guys!
noticed, but
You
I
don't have
remember
to-
the covers. The covers had
Yes!
That's what I was going to say. That's where I was
like
going.
a guy
Cool.
transforming into whatever animal it was, right?
Yes.
Like
Yep.
the evolution of man thing, where he starts out as like a dude, but then he's like, you know,
Yeah.
some cat, bit cat, most cat, and now he's all cat. And you're like, that's the worst Photoshop shit I've ever seen in my life. I can't read this.
I still read them sometimes. I'm not
You
gonna
should
lie.
never judge a book by its cover, unless it's fucking animal.
You guys are haters.
I couldn't help it. That's the
Animals
real
for the
reason why I
win.
wanted to do this portion, was because I wanted to talk about the Animorphs covers.
Fuck you guys.
What animal would you be, Jess?
I think she just threw down her headphones and left.
Yeah, she did. She stormed off. Pointed her childhood to death in
There you
front of
go.
her.
It's still on my nightstand.
Oh wow.
Jack asked you what animal you'd be, yo.
Oh, I would be, ooh. Well, you could be more than one. I think I'd want to be a tiger and an eagle. For sure.
Tiger and an eagle.
Yeah, you could be a tiger sometimes, and then other times you could be an eagle. It depends. Maybe if I want to get away from, my preteen struggles, who'd ask to the dance, then I'll be an eagle and fly away.
The cover of the book looks like the dude just like he was walking along and sees this fucking tiger and he's like, shit, a tiger.
And the pages, they
Just
morph.
fucking falls over behind it. That's what the cover looks like, I swear. I can't do this, man.
You guys, fucking
Do you have a
haters.
game you would make, Snoof?
Jack's
No,
like, enough.
I actually put a line in there saying I'm not nearly creative enough to come up with a game of my own. I do like the sound of what the puppet came up with, but no, for me, see, this is the thing, like with where I'm at in gaming. Maybe like 5-6 years ago, I could have come up with something on my own. But I mean, right now, I barely have 10 hours a week that I can put into gaming, and of that, well, we'll say 10 to 12 hours. Of that, I split a lot of that into working on the website for Dawnbreaker. Now, before we'll say like 4 weeks ago, it was put into making videos for YouTube. I don't have time to really think about games anymore. There's a few that I play that I've got like 6 hours or so a week of just playing games to de-stress from work and just life and have fun. So to even consider or put any thought into a game of my own, it's just I don't have the luxury of putting that much thought process into something like that right now.
What about you, Jack?
But such is life.
Well, for starters, I'd make a fucking Pokemon MMO.
Oh, why did I think of that? You're a genius.
Why hasn't that been done yet? I mean, Nintendo, like, that's the ultimate moneymaker. Not selling enough Wii's or Wii U's, make a fucking Pokemon MMO. You're done.
Yeah, put it on PC.
That's genius.
Yeah, put it on PC. I don't understand. Have a nice little mobile app with it as well, where you can rub your Pokemon up or whatever you want to do with them. I don't know.
Come here, Pikachu. It's fun time.
Yeah, Peekaboo, Pikachu. Aside from that, I'd want to make like an open world zombie game, like in the style of DayZ, that actually ran at more than 20 frames per second and gave people
works.
Incentive to like not always shoot on sight, because like I know that it's so hard to try and like balance it or like come up with a solution, because it's a fucking video game where you shoot people. People are always going to shoot people on sight. But I just remember like the good old days of DayZ, like when it was just a mod and it was so rare, to find a gun or find ammo or to even get shot, that as soon as you found a gun, it was like, oh shit, I've got a gun. I've got to really look after my character now. If I die, like I've lost my weekend. Like I spent 8 hours playing the game this weekend. I've got myself just a revolver or a shotgun. If I die now, I'm done for. And then you would see like a squad on the hill in front of you, and you're with your friend, and you're like, shit, get down. And then you have like this really tense 20-minute firefight, and you either come out on top or you're dead and you feel horribly dejected, and it really got your heart going. But I think zombie survival games now, H1Z1, DayZ, Miscreated, all the clones that have come out, it's just team deathmatch in the zombie apocalypse. And I'd really want to come up with a way where it wasn't just about killing people, and you could have factions and bases and deals with people, have like a Eve style economy in there or something. So the most valuable option isn't to just shoot someone, it's to talk to them first and try and work out a deal, something like that. Like I would love that sort of apocalyptic zombie game, and to actually have zombies that were dangerous. Again, big problem with these zombie games. Yeah, they have big maps. Yeah, they have lots of players and vehicles and crafting, but the zombies just aren't like an important factor of the game. Like in DayZ, forever zombies have always just been an annoyance. They run through walls and doors. You can hide in pine trees to get away from them. You never really see a horde of zombies. Even in H1Z1, yeah, there's a little horde, but they're not dangerous. You can just keep running, they'll never catch you up. I want a zombie game where the zombies are as dangerous as a person who wants to shoot you in the face. Like, that's what I want to see. Aside from that, I really want to see like a competitive shooter which has like a crazy level of destruction and micro destruction, and I'm hopeful that something like Rainbow Six Siege can actually deliver on that based on what they've shown in the gameplay. I know it was very scripted, but they've got the whole shooting through walls, and it looks like everything is destructible, and that's cool because you can create little holes that you can shoot through and alternative routes using explosives. Like, that's another game that I'd love to see done well.
I haven't even heard about that yet.
Which one?
Siege?
Oh,
Siege.
that looks so good. It's got a lot of potential.
Huh.
Jack, to your point, what you said about zombies, especially in DayZ, it just reminded me of something. The biggest zombie horde I've ever seen in DayZ was probably like 2 months ago. and I saw a line of 7 zombies chasing a cow through a field. Other than that, I've never seen that many zombies in one gathering before.
Yeah.
I was like,
when the zombie, we were all playing one night, and there was this zombie running up a hill at us, and it tripped and killed itself.
yeah.
It was the funniest fucking thing I've ever seen in my life. Like, it reaches this rock, and it, like, clips on it and just falls over dead, like it had tripped and killed itself. It was fucking amazing.
I remember
That was it. That was
great.
the peak of my DayZ. I'm like, right, I never need to play this game again. That's the best thing that's ever going to happen.
Stubbed my toe and I'm dead.
I'm out. Zombies are weak.
All right, before we get into the next topic, this one's going to be very interesting. I see Jess has got quite a lot to say to it. Something I wanted to bring up, I forgot to mention it at the beginning of the podcast, and I've been slacking on it the past couple of podcasts overall, actually. Don Baker Patreon. If you guys haven't checked it out yet, we greatly appreciate it. I'm sure Jess is going to throw up a link to it. We're at, oh, now I can't remember. Hang on. I got to double check.
543.
Thank you very much. We
So
are at
close.
23 patrons for $543 a month. The next goal is $600 a month. When we hit that, we're going to be able to get Zen Forum for the forums,
Zen
which
4.0.
is going to Zen 4.0, sorry, for the forums, which is going to allow us to do a shit ton of different things for it, and you guys will be able to get crazy in there and do all sorts of awesome things.
Points,
That-
ranks, titles. If you guys remember Battlefield O, MOHHQ, I think No Nonsense Gamers uses it right now. It's just so, it's a premium forum service. There's just so much more we can do with it. And so much more with, you know, like I said, earning points, having like badges and stuff like that. It's really nice. I'm
Yeah.
really excited about that.
I'm still like I mean, the site's going pretty well. We're still working on trying to get more content up on the regular, but we are getting content up. Everything is going well. We get a lot of people supporting us, which is friggin' fantastic. And one point I want to bring up, because there's 2 people that had asked questions about it that were a little confused. There's different price points well, not price points. There's different totals for what you can do, and I think it's like 1, 5, 10, 25, so on. You don't have to do those values in there. It's just, from, 1 to 5,
yeah.
and then from 6 to 10, and so on and so forth. If there's anyone that's on the fence about doing it, we greatly appreciate it. But I mean, if you don't have the money, for the fucking love of God, do not spend your money, man. I'm very, very big on financial responsibility. So, as much as I would love for everyone to throw their wallets at the screen and help support us, please do so responsibly.
Yeah, and it's not just a monetary support. You guys support us with retweets and site submissions of your articles and stuff. So, it's not just
Right. No,
And
the community submissions are really what's helping drive the site right now. And I gotta say, please send in more. I love it when people send in stuff, because I'm an avid reader, and I 100% do not lie. I'm not joking. I fucking love reading everything that people have been submitting, because, like I said, I'm an avid reader. I usually put in about an hour plus of reading a day, which is still pretty good given what everything that I have going on for responsibilities in life right now. I used to be pre-child, I used to do 2 to 3 hours of reading every single day. So I love it. I love being the editor for a site and doing all that. And everything people have been sending in has just been great. And for stuff that we've had to do work with, I genuinely look forward to that. Like, I love helping people develop themselves as a writer. You can tell that the people that are making these reviews, it's about a game they feel really passionate about, they're knowledgeable about, and they want to discuss it. And they just end up taking everything in their head, they put it on paper, and we iron it out as it needs be. It's been a friggin' awesome experience so far, and I really look forward to every new piece that people submit. So, if there's something you want to talk about, go ahead and submit it.
yeah.
Is there anything else we want to discuss on that, or are we good? Yes, you got.
Oops.
I think we're good because we
Right.
kept interrupting Scanner. So fuck him.
Oh, sorry, Scanner. Yes, you were about to say something.
Not really. I'm just saying random words to look important.
All right.
Tomato.
Tomato.
Potato.
Tomato.
All right, next topic from Agent Briscoe. This one's a little lengthy. This has been a hot topic in America lately. What do you guys... first, what do you guys think... Sorry, back it up. This has been a hot topic in America lately regarding internet regulation. First, to the Americans, what do you guys think, and what is your stance on regulating the internet? Where do you guys sit on the regulation seesaw? Are you completely against it? Do you think some regulations should be put into place and in certain ways? Or do you think the internet needs a radical change and should be exceedingly regulated? Second, is there even any controversy in this in the UK? What do you guys think, Jack and Scanner, about regulating the internet and ISPs?
It's bad.
I am. I fly into a rage anytime I see anything about the government trying to regulate the internet, especially when it means they're giving the companies the right to do it, because cable companies already have, here anyway, in America, carefully orchestrated oligopolies. So they don't have a monopoly per se, so it's not technically illegal as far as I know. But they just have like the areas where they are the main provider, and there's really no one else you can get internet or cable from. So I know Comcast is a big offender, and here Time Warner Cable in the Northeast. And I can either get my cable internet and phone landline through Time Warner, or I can go fuck myself. Like, there's really no other option here, especially because I'm in an apartment right now. But I cut my cable a couple years ago, and I just get my video now, my TV from Netflix, Hulu, Amazon, and it makes 0 sense to give the company, in direct competition with that decision that I made, to throttle my access to their competitors. Because I cut the cable so that I could have access to Netflix, better access. I upgraded my internet. Cut the cable, upgraded my internet, which cut my bill in half, but it also now costs me $90 for the best internet package that they have, which is advertised as 50 down, 5 up. And I get probably, I mean, I know Steam kind of throttles with their servers a little bit, but I get, when I'm downloading a game, 7 down, and maybe when I'm streaming I'll get a little more than 1 up, which is disgusting. So that pisses me right off. It's definitely
it's shitty.
It's shitty.
Yeah. Was it Kim.com, the guy who made Mega Upload? He was tweeting a couple of days ago about creating his own version of the internet. I was following his Twitter, and he said, where is it? I'm just looking for this specific. He did like a series of tweets where he was talking about turning like your mobile phones into, you know, the internet basically, and no restrictions. It doesn't work on IP, so it can't be DDoSed. So see what he comes up with, I suppose. Can't be monitored. It's all encrypted. Yeah, here we go. How would you like a new internet that can't be controlled, censored, or destroyed by governments or corporations? I'm working on it. It's called Meganet. It's non-IP based. No more DDoS or hacking. No more censorship. No more spying. All your mobile phones become an encrypted network. You'd be surprised how much idle storage and bandwidth capacity mobile phones have. Meganet will turn that capacity into a new network. So he's working on a new internet, I suppose. We'll see.
Interesting.
Does sound interesting. I'm strongly against the concept of like regulation of the internet anyway, because it doesn't mean what you initially think of. When you think of regulation, you think, oh, is this a way to help us, catch like ne'er-do-wells better? No, it's not. It's just a way to get fucked over. That's it. It's like some company sat somewhere deciding that your access to XYZ sites should be deprioritized compared to other people's access to different sites. It's a load of bullshit.
Yep.
But like, you guys in the States, you get rolled when it comes to internet and information services pricing anyway. Like, absolutely bent over double. Which pleases me, truthfully.
Fuck you.
As the greatest nation on earth, I thought you'd be on top of that. But apparently not. Apparently, Euros have you beat again. There you go.
Yeah,
though. Go ahead. Sorry, I was just saying one thing.
Yeah, but we got French people.
Sorry.
we got to put up with that.
In relation to the UK aspect, we started seeing a bit of it, like a little bit of like censorship and like blocking of certain websites. Like most of the major ISPs in the UK, like Virgin Media, Sky, TalkTalk, BT, they're like the main 4, I suppose. If you try and go on like torrent websites, you just get like an error saying the website's blocked, and the only way around it is to use a proxy, which most people don't know how to use, even though it's incredibly simple. They've also started blocking some porn websites as well. But the problem with this is that the filters they were using were actually blocking a lot of, like legitimate websites. There was a sex abuse charity website that was being blocked on all the major ISPs just because of some keywords that had been flagged by the filter. So, people that are genuinely looking for help, or like a forum where they can discuss their problems and concerns about whatever, they were being stopped because of these filters that were in place.
I did not know about that part about it.
Yeah, and you can't get on most of the like the major torrent websites. You can't get on them anymore in the UK. You need to use a proxy.
Damn.
Huh.
Which is also stupid. Like, I understand people's issue with torrent sites as copyright holders, but the thing that copyright holders need to understand is that torrent sites are actually used by people who make independent medias to distribute those medias. Like, the first place that we used to put any like finished, completed, fully mastered and mixed down tracks was on a torrent site, because that's where people will find them, and that's my intellectual property, so I get to fucking dictate where it goes. And now in certain countries in the UK, they don't do this in Ireland because they're too fucking lazy or dumb, one or the other. Now people are losing access to a method of promotion and marketing of their sound, which is stupid. But hey, that's how the government works. Like, they're reactionary. The guys who are paying the campaign funds, they're just doing what they're told, kind of thing. It's all very very annoying.
I have nothing to add to this because I'm completely in the same boat that Jess is in. It's just a fucking nightmare from the top down, man. And I don't know what it's going to take other than the public to just keep raising hell and be as loud as possible about it and make it clear that this isn't what we want. And hopefully it's going to be enough, but it's tough because there really are people that are in Comcast pockets that are in there writing these fucking laws. So be curious to see what the end result will be. There's certainly a hugely significant number of people in the U.S. that don't want this regulated by any means whatsoever. So if it does go through as, however Comcast and all these big companies want it, I don't know what's going to happen from that. Like, at what point does the public break? And I think fucking them over with their internet is going to be the tipping point. I'm not saying, like, oh my god, revolution, tear down the government or anything, but it's going to, I think there will be some backlash from that.
Yeah, I think that decision's happening in the next, this week.
It's amazing. It's even
conservatives were trying to push it back, give them more time. So I'm assuming it's looking good for net neutrality, but
I fucking hope so.
Conservatives hate all good things.
Yeah.
Just kidding. We're not political here.
Let's get back into gaming. We're gonna go with Phil's topic. Do you guys ever feel constrained or defined by your online brand? That you have to behave and interact with others in a certain way because of how your online presence is perceived? I'm going to jump on this one. Lol, nope. It's... I don't know. I try to be as genuine as I can. I try to be as polite as I can, too. Like, there are times when I definitely lash out. I have a short fuse. I definitely lack patience in a lot of respects. For the most part, I just try to keep my peace. I'm sure some people will rightfully so point to how I make fun of people in the comments. I haven't done that in probably a year at this point. But that was like something I used to be notorious for. If people came in and started fucking mouthing off, I'd mouth off back to them. And it wasn't so much like a keyboard bashing, like, who can be the better keyboard warrior here. It was just like, I'm going to turn everything you said right around on you, make you look like a fool kind of thing. Well, maybe I guess that is keyboard or whatever. I don't know. I don't know. It's one of those, I guess speaking generally from the way I see it, in YouTubers in general, from what I see, there's a couple different ways you can go about it, but for the most part, is however you set up your brand to begin with. As long as you stick to that, or you go in a positive direction, if there is a positive direction to go in, you're good. You can stick to your brand. It doesn't really matter. You don't have to worry about it. But it doesn't really have to define you. The only part where it becomes a problem is if you're like a really good person, you become an asshole and you go really, really negative, and that's kind of a part where it could be an issue. I'm not even sure if that even makes any sense, but I don't know. Someone please take this off my hands.
I'll jump on it. I do not I don't have a brand. I'm just me. And on the days when I'm in a good mood, I'm in a good mood. And on the days when I'm in a bad mood, I'm in a bad mood. And I don't filter a huge amount. I don't see the point. So, like, I can honestly say, when people look at my videos and decide that I'm just not the kind of guy that they would like, that nothing about that opinion would change if they met me in real life. Like, we wouldn't click. You know, they wouldn't like me and I might not like them. So that I think is quite a good thing. I'm as honest as I can be in my videos about everything, often to, possibly to my detriment. But once again, I'm not really the kind of person who cares too much about that kind of thing. Like, if I like a game, I like a game. If I don't like a game, I don't like a game. Same with people. Like, I like them or I don't. I don't see the point in fucking arsing around pretending that you like somebody. You know, if I like you, I talk to you. If I don't talk to you, there's two options. I either A, don't know you, or B, think you're an arsehole. And that's it. Like, everybody knows where they stand, and it's all good. Like, I don't understand why anybody would do a channel that is not being them, because that's the easiest thing to do. Like, you don't have to worry about slipping up, going off brand, going off message, all this kind of shit. Like, just be yourself and have some fun with it. And, some people won't like you, but ask yourself this. If someone doesn't like you in real life, if you're walking past a random stranger on the street and they stop you and say, I don't like you, you're going to go, okay, and you're going to go about the rest of your fucking day. And it's the same on the internet. Like, if you don't like somebody or they don't like you, it's pretty easy to avoid each other for the most part. Pretty simple.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I feel
I don't let anything dictate. Like, I do what I want. I do what I want.
You definitely fucking do. I remember in TeamSpeak yesterday, I was like, oh shit! But
look, that guy fucking, he
I know.
Dude, I didn't even pick up on what was going on at first until like 5 minutes later when you were all talking about it, because I was that fucking into just mining in Minecraft. Then all of a sudden everyone's talking, I'm like, wait, what happened? Someone get yelled at by Scanner again?
Some rando in the TeamSpeak is talking to everybody like they're fucking idiots. I mean, like that real, like, insulting tone in his voice, as if say, oh, why do I even have to waste my time talking to you? It's not your fucking TeamSpeak, pal. Nobody asked you to be here, so jog the fuck on.
Was he a guy that was playing Minecraft with you, or just a randomer?
No.
Or?
He's just some rando, man. And he was one of those dudes who, his PC was filled with specialist beta test equipment. He was running an OS that was also like some kind of weird test build. You know that kind of wanker who sat there on a fucking Amstrad? Just pulling shit out of his arse. So we're talking about Minecraft and I'm getting stuff set up, and he said something to me and it crawled right under my fucking skin. Like, so I'm sat there thinking, right, this guy's wrecking my head. I don't know if anybody knows him, but I don't care. So I actually just said, look, pal, if you continue to speak to me like you think I'm fucking retarded, I will invent a way to fucking stab you down the internet. And everybody just stopped talking in the piece. Like,
I was like,
oh
my God.
Real.
Stab you down the internet.
Yeah.
Dude, I'll fucking do it, Jack. Don't give me a reason.
Hold me back.
Dude,
I'll start working on it right now.
They fucking bailed immediately too. Like, he said that, there's dead silence. I'm like, use your left channel, use your left channel. It was like, fucking jump ship, man. Get out of here.
Yeah.
I can't do it. Like,
I almost left because it was uncomfortable.
If I find myself for any reason in a fucking Like, I can't do it. I'm not putting up with this shit when I'm trying to fucking fight Enderman. Nope. Not gonna fucking happen.
Anyway,
Yeah,
online
that's it.
brand. Scanner gives 0 fucks. Is his brand.
Yeah, exactly. And I'll be the same. Like when I'm better and I'm going to like conventions and stuff. Like you don't have to like wonder what I'm like. You know, if you don't like me, you just don't like me is fine. Like just stay the fuck away from me, because if you don't like me and I don't like you, I'm going to enjoy that situation face to face a fuck ton more than you will. Yeah.
Yeah, I have a similar be honest and be myself policy, but I'm the complete opposite of Scanner because I like to be super polite and diplomatic when I interact with people regarding their personal selves and opinions, even if I don't like them or they don't like me. I don't know, that's just how I am. Maybe it's part of my feminine ways, because I'm...
Feminine wiles.
Yeah, so feminine. But, yeah, sometimes I'm a little too nice. But I'm interested in Jack's answer to this question, because I feel like the three of us don't really have to think about when we say or do something on the internet. Because,
Yeah, I feel like for Jack it's more interesting because there's
watching us?
potential consequence.
Yeah.
Well, I will always be myself in my videos and always say whatever the fuck I want to say. Like, I really don't care. But I'm sort of like you in a way, Scanner. Like, I'll say what I want to say because at the end of the day, like on YouTube, like if you have a YouTube channel or a Twitch channel, and you do like impressions of games or whatever, like your voice is all you have, right? That's all that people can go off, and you know, you want your viewers to be entertained and to trust you, and like that's important. And even though like some people will like see my logo or whatever and go, oh, that's Jackfrags logo, that's the brand, whatever. You know, like I have a limited company, whatever. You know, it's a business, but it's still just me. You know, I don't have any staff. You know, it's not like I have an office. I'm still exactly the same when I started in 2011. Still living in the same place, still doing the same sort of videos. Like, and that's how I'll always be. Like, it really doesn't matter to me what people think, especially being on the internet, because you just have so many trolls that will just say something for the sake of it, or you know, people who type stuff without even thinking what they're typing and then they just hit enter. So yeah, I mean, no, I mean, me is me. That's what you get.
Jackie's Jack.
I like it.
I have to say, it was quite interesting the first time I ever spoke to Jack. It was like, oh, you know, big time fucking YouTuber over here. Let's see what he's like. And then you were pretty much exactly like you were in the videos. I was like,
mean, like,
all right, the mystery is dead.
Yeah, I think some people have a persona on YouTube, and you get different types of it. Like, you get the extreme persona where people are completely different to what they're like in real life. I don't want to name any examples, but I can think of several UK YouTubers that do that. They're very like super energetic and will say things in their videos that they probably wouldn't say in real life if you were just their mate. They're just doing it for the entertainment value. Or, you know, people who role play. There's plenty of YouTubers and Twitch streamers who pretend to be someone they're not because that's what their thing is. That's what they do. That's their form of entertainment. As an example, I think someone like Caseytron on Twitch. I think she obviously isn't that way in real life. And she pretends to be... I don't want to say... Well, she pretends to be dumber than she actually is, but she's doing it to troll her audience. But her audience love that. That, you know, they know that she's trolling. They know that she's role-playing, but they love it. And that works for her. I'm just trying to think... Or, you know, and there's some people who put on, like, a false pretense and, you know, pretend that they're someone that they're not. And, again, that might work for them, whatever. But, like, most of the people that I you know, I know on YouTube, like you guys, like the people that I play with regularly, we're just ourselves, and that's the best way of going about things, because then, you know, there's nothing there's nothing mischievous or dirty going on in the background. It's just it's just you being you. And that's the best way to enjoy games as well.
Doesn't mean there's nothing mischievous or dirty going on, though.
Yeah, that's true.
Opponent breaks out the voice.
Yeah, I like to get real close. I was surprised how nice Jack was. That makes me happy. Because I remember a few years ago we were doing the tournament, PTFO tournament, that Scott and I had no idea what we were getting into when we were trying to organize that. And there was just this whole controversy going on, and poor Jack had to...
That was fun.
Yeah. I was like, I'm so sorry.
That's one way to put it.
But the good thing
Anyway.
is that should Project PTFO ever return,
Oh, we've learned a lot.
I'll be the judge. Like, I'll
Jury
be
and
the guy.
executioner.
Like, I'll be the guy saying that this is just the way it is. Because when it comes to that kind of thing, you know, I can actually be quite professional when I need to be. I have worked in environments that demand a degree of professionalism, so I can treat everybody well, and you know, everybody being involved can be like, you know, assured that I am very gracious of their involvement. But they will also need to understand that when shit goes down and a judgment call is required, that the call that's given is the one that's happening. It's like, look, I know that some shit went down and half the team disconnected, and we're just gonna have to like redo the round. It's just the way it is. And if people won the round and they feel annoyed about it, I'm sorry. Tough shit.
Scanner's going to be the muscle behind the organization. You know, Jess and I will be there putting it together. Someone's going to mouth up, excuse me, and we're just going to Scanner fucking poke him right in the eye. Like, no, sit down, shut the fuck up.
He will knife
Plus,
them
I'm the one who
internet.
cares the least about whether people hold a grudge as well. So that's a good thing. Like, if you're holding a grudge against me, good luck. Because I'm never going to give a shit.
Yeah, I mean, you can't give a shit about stuff like that on the internet anyway, I think, because it's the internet. Like,
Right.
so someone
it's
might
not
give you
real.
so much shit on... Exactly, someone might give you so much shit on Twitter and YouTube comments, but so fucking what? Like, it's just someone who isn't even thinking about what they're typing. Like you said, it's not even real. Like, why even bother entertaining the idea of that sort of commentary?
Yeah, I think a lot of the time it's displacement. Like, if all I do is express my opinion on a video game and somebody gets absolutely incensed that I disagree with them on a video game, a lot of the time I sit there and I just think, well, okay, this guy's getting this mad about a video game. I don't think the root of his anger is actually a video game. I imagine he's having a shite day about maybe something that's actually important, and this is the vent.
Yeah, there's something else going on, but you're never going to be able to see that. You just have to sort of like accept that that is probably what's happening. You know, that's why that guy's like the way he is at that moment in time.
So it doesn't matter. Like it's the same. I apply the same importance to other people's angers on the internet as I expect other people to offer mine, which is none. Like, let's say I wake up in the morning and I see something that, like, I strongly disagree with on Twitter. I'm very inclined to, like, jump in and make my opinion known. But that opinion has no weight. It's fucking dust in the wind, man. Like, other people don't have to pay any attention to what I'm saying or anything like that. But for some reason, oftentimes they will. Like, they'll really, like, kind of go, well, you know... Like, why the fuck are you saying this? And I'm like, why are you even worried what I'm saying? It's just an opinion. It's counter to yours, but that's not the point. Like, the point is that if you don't want Scanner Barkley's opinion to have any validity, then simply don't allow it to have any validity in your head.
Yep.
And move on with your day. Or else
Skinner,
it's just fun to me.
You're an important person, and what you say matters.
Well, I know that.
You just need to convince the rest of the world that they need to know
No, you
that.
see, this is where everybody gets it wrong. Snoop, you're getting it wrong each time. The
No,
rest of
I
the
know
world
what it
doesn't
is.
matter. The only
I
thing
know.
that matters is what I think.
I know, you've brought this up before.
That's the way it works. That's how true narcissism works. The only important person is me and what I think about myself. I love it.
All right. Well, jump. We got 3 more topics we can hit. Next one was from Misled Penguin. This one I apparently took a different direction with it than what you and Jess did. But he said, any regrets of being a gamer? Anything you would change about your gaming self for the better? Examples: less hesitant about news or pre-ordering games and not following developers, etc. Who wants to tackle that one first?
Sure. I wouldn't change anything about being a gamer per se, as in being ashamed of being a nerd, because I think that's one of the coolest things about me. But I have a tendency to let my short-term memory dictate pre-orders. I'm a little compulsive with buying games, and especially pre-orders when there's either a discount. Discount I feel less bad because it's saving me money, but for pre-order bonuses, I'm like, ooh, I really like that gun. I want it. And that just never ends up well.
Terrible.
But I would say no regrets, definitely not.
No, I have no regrets about being a gamer whatsoever. Speaking specifically to that point, I mean, if not for gaming, I wouldn't know any of you guys. Like, the chances of us meeting outside of gaming are pretty much non-existent. You people are just a small group of really amazing people I've met. They're just genuinely awesome and friendly people. And there's a lot more that come with that. And I've said it time and time again, anytime that, like, okay, what do you, what's your favorite thing about YouTube or being whatever, anything online related? It all comes down to the great people I've met. So, no, I have zero regrets about being a gamer, even with any of the little negative things that have come along with it. No, it's 110% been worth it. Anything I'd change about my gaming self for the better? I wish I could have a little more patience when dealing with new games. Like, there's some games I would love to get into, like Arma 3. I played it late at night one night. That was probably the bigger mistake. I had Slats there to walk me through it. I gave it about, I think, 45 minutes. I can't remember. I know it was less than an hour. And then I finally just threw it in my hands. I'm like, I'm done. This is like, there's a lot of fucking controls. It was really overwhelming at the time. And I just, it went against everything that I use gaming for. It's supposed to be a de-stressor for me. And that game was really involved to take on at like 2 a.m. Again, which is probably my biggest mistake. And I was like, nope, done. I can't do it. So yeah, if I could change anything about myself, specifically as a gamer, I wish I had a lot more patience so I could get into other games. I'll eventually get there, but right now it's just not in the cards. What about you, Scanner?
Well, to play the old man card, I've been a gamer for like 30 years. So I'm finally wrapping my head around the fact that just my habits and behaviors as a gamer will always change. And there's, some of them will be like conscious efforts, like the whole, like last year when I just like pretty much shut down pre-orders, kind of a consumer self-defense mechanism. And it's nice to see like so many people in gaming following that kind of mentality this year, where it's just like, look, pre-orders, they're just not good for the consumer when there's no need to do them. It's not like they're going to run out of fucking Steam codes. So I'm comfortable with the fact that like I'll be a very different gamer in 2 years' time than I am right now, and it's fine. If I could change anything about myself as a gamer, I'd make myself better naturally at FPS games, because I'm not very good at FPS games naturally, and any FPS game where I do actually get even remotely good, I have to work like a dog to get there. So like I'd take that kind of, it's very annoying because FPS games are really enjoyable and they're one of my favorite genres, but they're also one of the genres that I suck at the most. So I'd kind of remove that element and just like make myself a little bit better at them than I am. That'd be nice. So yeah, selfishness. Hooray!
What about you, Jack?
I wouldn't really change anything, but I mean, gaming has pretty much like been a quintessential part of my life, like up to this point. And I wouldn't be where I am now if it wasn't for playing video games. And the best part is the people that you meet, because I find that most gamers that spend a lot of time playing PC games, console games, whatever, are all very like-minded people, and they just want to chill out, have a good time, and keep it cool, I suppose. But yes, I've met so many awesome people through gaming who, you can really open up with, and lots of people that I've met online, and I'll probably never meet. I've never met them in person. You can form really close bonds with people over the internet, just Skype, TeamSpeak, Steam, whatever, and that's nice to be able to do that. And at the end of the day, you're brought together because of a video game, because you have similar games that you like, whether it's Counter-Strike or StarCraft, World of Warcraft, whatever, and you just get this nice sense of being part of a community. And I think it helps a lot with social anxieties as well. Like a lot of people, it really helps to just find a group of people online and just play some games with them and just talk shit for hours. It helps. And it definitely helped me when I was a teenager as well, being online and talking to people about random shit or whatever. And that's the best part about it, I think, just the people you meet. And I mean, it's awesome nowadays that I can say that gaming is my my career. It's what I do. Like, gaming is my work and my play, which is a great place to be in for me, because when I'd left university, I had absolutely no idea what I wanted to do. And if it wasn't for YouTube or Twitch or gaming in general, I still wouldn't know what I wanted to do. And I think a lot of people are in a similar situation like that. And being in the games industry can open a lot of doors for people, and you can actually really, you can make a living and a career and make lots of new friends and a life out which revolve around video games, which is kind of cool, and it's still something very new and evolving.
Very nice. Dude,
That touched my heart.
it's weird. Well, that's not weird. That's not what I was saying. It's gotta be. So I don't know how I want to explain this, because you're not the first person that I've heard say that regarding getting into the gaming thing. Like we actually had a conversation regarding this with Oshi7 one night and Emily, so Fred and Emily, and he kind of just got into the same boat, like at that perfect age, and the gaming thing was taking off, that he didn't know what he wanted to do, but he enjoyed gaming, and all of a sudden became a viable option, like a plausible option, like to pursue, and it worked out for him. And I'm really glad it worked out for both you guys. For me, when I really got back into gaming, I was already out of college and I had my career started and everything, and then I just was like, you know what? I haven't played games in like the past 5 years. I'm just gonna go out and get a PS3, and from there, I got my first HD TV. I got a PS3, and then I got Fake Thriller into it. He was an Xbox pleb before that. I was like, dude, get a PS3 with me and an HD TV. I got two of my best friends to buy both of those so we can all play COD together. And all of a sudden, the gaming thing just kind of turned into its own thing from there, doing YouTube and all that. But it's kind of weird. It has really nothing to do with where this is going. It's just, I find it interesting how where people get their start on YouTube can be so drastically different where they're at when those opportunities have arisen. Random thought I wanted to bring up.
I would love, I joke a lot about how I don't take YouTube very seriously, because I don't. Well, I'm not going to say I joke, but I state a lot how I don't take YouTube very seriously, because I don't. I not even remotely seriously. So I could be starting off in the worst possible position to ever hope to actually succeed on YouTube. But it's kind of like a self-defense mechanism almost for me, because obviously working from home would be this ideal job. It's pretty much like an agoraphobic who gets to work from home. Come on, that's fucking poetry right there.
True.
But I just don't have, I'm aware, I know enough about the way that it's effectively what we do is little tap dances on social media every day. That's what we're at, kind of from the business perspective. And I'm aware how that all works from previous jobs and stuff. But I do not have the energy right now to put in the work that it actually takes to succeed, because this shit doesn't come easy. People work hard to achieve what people achieve on YouTube and Twitch and stuff, and fair play to them. I don't have that energy. I just cannot even think about YouTube as a job right now. but there's going to be like this like grace period as I continue to get better and I get healthier and I get more energy. I still won't be able to go back to full-time work, but maybe I'll have enough energy to give YouTube an honest to God shot. And I'm actually really curious to see what will happen at that point. Where now I just do, just fucking random shit, like whatever, no real plan, no real kind of thought, no attempts to like network and talk to this guy and get to know X dev and Y dev and all that stuff. But it's going to be interesting when I hit that point to see if it's possible, like if I could actually turn it into maybe a job, because that'd be awesome. You get to play fucking games all day and talk shit. Oh my lord, that would be the best job in the world. But like that's gonna be, I don't know, that always tickles me a little bit, like just the thought of giving it an actual shot and the thought of how much damage I could do to my potential success between now and then because I'm an arsehole. It's fucking awesome. I love it. It's very exciting to be me.
Dude, there was a time where like when I first started doing it, like the idea of doing it full time never crossed my mind. And especially with the two people going at it, where, me and Fake Thriller splitting the channel, it just never crossed my mind. We're like, this is fun. We're making a couple extra bucks on the side, getting free game here and there. This is fucking great. We're just doing something for fun, and we get free stuff for it in the end. And then at one point, it crossed my mind, like, actually, you know what? This actually would be awesome to do. I love the career path I'm in. At one point, I was extremely displeased with where it was heading with the company I was with. And that started making me reconsider other opportunities and potential possibilities. So I was like, holy shit, doing YouTube for a real living would be fun. Because at the time, like, it was viable. I mean, Fake Thriller and I were doing videos on the daily, even with full-time jobs. And when we were at our peak, he had a kid that was 2 years old at the time, and I had just had my first kid, but we were still getting it done. I was like, dude, we can do this. We can make it happen. But, then we shot ourselves in the foot by taking too many breaks and then gave up on posting daily. And we went from I think our peak was like an 8-month window of like 350 to 650,000 views was our peak. And then it just went downhill because we stopped posting daily, and then we both, we took a break here, took a break there, and what potential we had, we shot ourselves in the foot, and that option was no longer able to be realized.
Matt asked a really interesting question there. For career YouTubers and streamers, isn't there that effect where, like, if you work at a restaurant, you end up getting real sick of the food? So what do you think of that, Jack? Has it taken the shine off gaming, the fact that it's like work hours, there needs to be content?
Well, I mean, I don't really get sick of the food, because I think if you are doing it full time, you've really got to, like, the best part about it is being creative and coming up with new shit. You can do whatever you want, because there's so many games. You can do like a first impressions, you can do a tips video, you can do just raw gameplay, you can do having fun with your mates, you can do like a troll video, whatever. There's so many different ways that you can create content and just be creative within yourself. And like, that's the best part about it for me. It's just I can wake up and go, right, I've had this idea, this is what I'm going to do today. And then tomorrow it might be a completely different idea, like a completely different style of content. So I think to keep it like fresh and new, you've just got to be creative with yourself. And luckily on YouTube and on Twitch, pretty much anything goes within reason. So no, I don't really get sick of it. But you asked another question there, didn't you? Within that question, what was the other thing you asked, Scanner? I forgot.
No, that was pretty much it.
I think it was something else as well. Damn it.
Well,
I was gonna say something, but now I forgot what it was.
Someone go back in time and check.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, like I said, it's just being creative, and that's how you keep it fresh, I suppose.
I mean, it must make it easier. Well, to piggyback on Scanner, I'm sure it makes it easier to, like, the food doesn't get stale to you. You don't get sick of it because it is your full-time job. Like, this is your job. You have that time. Like if I could dedicate the 10 hours I put, minimum to my job I have now towards YouTube, I don't think I'd get sick of it, because an extra 10 hours a day to be able to work on content, that's significant. And especially easier if you don't have a family that you have to I was about to say you have to worry about. That sounds terrible, but if you don't have family time that eats up part of that too, it certainly would make it easier. Whereas if you're trying to pursue YouTube on a full-time basis, in someone like my position where you only have a few hours during the week, dude, it at that point you get real sick of the food real fast, because what little time you should be using just to have fun, you're stressing over like, oh shit, what am I gonna make? I only got a couple hours to get it done.
Yeah, I totally get that. Like, if you have a full-time job and you have a family and kids and you spend all day at work and you come home and then it's like, well, I've got 4 hours to make a video, which, like you said, you could be having fun with your family instead. I can see how that would get very, very annoying and stressful fast. So I totally get that. The other thing I was going to say, by the way, Scan, I remembered you asked, does it take the fun away from just playing games?
Yeah.
Like the only difference now is that every time I play a game, I'm recording. Whereas before I did YouTube and Twitch, I didn't do any of that, and I just played the game for myself or with my friends, just for the for a laugh, just for an experience. But now, literally every game that I play, I will record it, and part of that is because maybe I've planned to do a video on a specific game, but the other part is something inside me telling me if I'm not recording and something amazing happens, I'm going to be absolutely good, because that could be a really cool piece of content to share with people.
Exactly.
That's the only difference to me.
As an example, if in Arma 3 someone crashes into a wall at 250 miles an hour.
Yeah, that happened last night.
That kind of thing. Yeah. We won't go into the specifics of who was to blame for this. But no, I get it. Like, I record a lot, mainly because I've got a lot of hard drive space, so it's it's fine to do so. And I think it's that same actual mentality in my head as well. Like, it's, what if something fucking hilarious happens?
Exactly.
Because fucking Scott, Scottish Battle Axe, he kind of broke me a little bit when it comes to why I record. I used to just record for videos, but now I kind of record in case something GIF-worthy happens. And that's his fault, because sometimes all you need is like 7 or 8 seconds and you and your mates can be laughing about it all over again.
Yeah.
Which is important. But like, having, like, I'm fortunate in that most of the people that I play with, they're an odd mix of like being skilled gamers but also being quite goofy, which just kind of leads itself to like some really kind of funny shit. So I just find myself recording a lot. It's nice.
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, just agreeing. And
Okay.
if something cool happens, you can watch it back. You don't necessarily have to put it in a video. You can just watch it back for yourself and just have a little giggle, and then be done with it.
Yeah.
Right. That I got the same way. That's what being a content creator kind of does to you. There was a couple of times early on, especially playing as PC, because at that time, all of a sudden, I got a lot of hard drive space, and hard drive space is pretty cheap, especially when you're recording gameplay. And there was a couple times where I play, and I'm like, oh, okay, that was hilarious. And guess what? I wasn't recording. So I got into the habit of recording literally everything. Because, again, hard drive space is cheap. And if something happens, great. But it wasn't always done with the intent to make sure I'm capturing something because I want to use it. Like, I need to use it. It's just record in case something does happen. And it's something I really want to share with people. And at the end of the session, oh, no, nothing happened tonight. Okay, Control A, select all, delete, and start again the next night. It's easy enough to just keep filling up that folder and deleting it if nothing else comes up. I don't think that's a habit I'll ever be able to break, is playing without recording. It just feels weird now.
Yeah. Quick question for everybody. One of the memories that really sticks in my head is when I first started to record my gameplays. it felt fucking weird because I knew it was being recorded, and I actually started to play worse because I had this like kind of mentality of, oh, I'm recording now. I have to record something, worthwhile. And I found that my in-game behavior changed, and I was trying to like seek all these like opportunities. It was like the first day like that I was recording, like this started to settle in, which I thought was kind of weird. And after about a week, I kind of realized what was going on, and I kind of relaxed into it. And I was just like playing the way I'd always play, and everything was fine and normal again. But did anybody else have that, or is that just me?
No, I didn't have it when recording. I had it when I started streaming though. Like the very first couple of streams I did, which was back in early 2012, Battlefield 3, I'd say. I was quite nervous, to be honest, because it's like, shit, there's going to be people watching me live. I can't edit this. I can't. There's no script here. I'm literally just playing the game. Anything could happen. So I was a little. I have to admit, when I started streaming, I was nervous the first couple of times. But I sort of get what you mean about like when you're recording, especially if it's like a multiplayer FPS like Battlefield 4, and say I join a server with the intent of making a specific video, I'll actually try and make stuff happen, which I wouldn't normally do because it's stupid and it would get me killed or something. But if I can make it happen, it's better for the video. But that's only occasionally, or like, I don't know, like if I'm playing Battlefield 4 with Charboy and Azzy, we just fuck around. we don't play seriously, and I'll intentionally do stuff to make it look better on the video. For example, like if you used to be able to do that thing where you run someone over on your team, you just drive the Jeep, you press E, you get out, and the Jeep carries on rolling, your team kill them. Shit like that, which I wouldn't do if I was playing on my own. I'd be super serious, try hard, but it does depend on who you're playing with, and I totally get that sometimes when you are recording or streaming for the sake of entertainment and maybe making yourself look like an idiot, you do actually do stuff differently or on purpose to try and make something funny happen or something cool. So I get that. Yeah.
I don't know. It's hard kind of reflecting back on yourself if you are different. I don't think I act differently from how I play with friends to how I play when I'm live streaming. It was kind of weird the very first time that I started playing recording, because I realized how quiet it was. I'm like, that's not how I play at all. So at first it was like very unnatural in the sense of going the opposite direction. I didn't try to overcompensate for anything. I shut down, and I kind of crawled within myself. I was like, nah, I don't want to say anything because it just feels weird. So it really had to kind of come out of my shell in order to get myself to act normal when I started recording. I don't know if that makes any sense. I hope it did.
No, it does. That makes sense.
Good.
Like Scanner said, you just got to relax into it, and then you just forget you're recording eventually.
Yep.
Yeah, it stops being a factor after a while. I think it actually goes very hand in hand with, like, you're unsure as to why you're recording, because when you first start, you don't really know what you're going to do with the footage. You don't know what kind of content you're going to do. You don't know what kind of a YouTuber you're going to be. So it's all this like big thing of confusion. So I think you just kind of go with it. Well, people like watching shit blow up and lots of people die. So I have to get that 20-man back rage on Metro, or this game is a fucking write-off.
Yeah.
That's the way it can kind of work in your head, and then you settle into it. I have some guys that I follow, and I'd watch them suck at whatever game they wanted to play, because it's not really about their gameplays. It's about the funniness or the, whatever kind of element of their comms it is that hooks me. But then there's other guys that I watch, and if they put up a bad gameplay, I'd unsub to them, because that's all they can offer me, is watching them go beast mode on people. It's different. Like, it's different for everybody, I think, and there's always a schism between what the YouTuber is portraying or trying to portray, and how the audience will kind of interpret it, and people will just like see what they want to see, and like they'll decide how you entertain them, not you. I think that's why I love YouTube so much. It's like I have fuck all to do with it. It's mostly down to the subs. Like I make the content, but that's it.
I guess
like
that makes sense. Yeah.
Like some guys will see me as a skill player because maybe I'm better than them, and then some guys will see me as a terrible player because maybe I'm worse than them. Like I can't impact the perception of my skill level in the slightest. I can't magically play better. You know, that's on the audience, and then it's up to them to kind of define the value of what they see in my content. For some people, I'll be funny. For some people, I'm the guy who's willing to like go after, you know, the issue du jour, you know, and like really like kind of break it down and like take a good look at it as opposed to just a reactionary kind of, oh, this is shit or this is awesome. And then for other people, I'll just be angry scanner because they saw one video once where I was pissed about Peter Molyneux. But
And
for
let
them,
that define you.
yeah, but for them, you see, that's what they value. They value that. When I get angry, they know that I'm angry. Like, it's like, this isn't like a facade. This is like, Scanner's genuinely pissed about this. If he's saying he's angry, he's angry. But I can't influence that in any way.
I got you.
I like that.
Yep.
It's fun. So yeah,
All right.
tangent. Man, we tangented hard.
Yeah, we did.
We did. It's actually been a really good night, and at this point, I'm actually going to cut it short. We are just about at
cut
the
it
2 hour
long.
point. Cut it long. Well, cut it short. I mean, there's a couple of topics we didn't get to, but there's just no way we can cover them at this point. It's been a really long night, and I don't want to tie up any more Jack's time. It's getting pretty late on his end. Although you could be a night owl. I don't know. I know it's getting pretty late on Scanner's end, but you know he's a dick, so I don't really care about being considerate to him anyway.
True.
What are the last two topics?
The last two
AAA
topics.
games.
Yeah, that was AAA games, and then thoughts on backwards compatibility within
What
gaming
developers do you
consoles.
trust the most with not only delivering a quality product at launch but also maintaining it over its lifespan? Valve. There you go.
Yeah, I said the same.
Naughty Dog.
what's-
Fuck
Same.
Naughty Dog.
Why though? Why don't you like them?
Dude, Uncharted,
I don't
Last
like
of Us
anyone
1.
who. I don't like anyone who bullshots as openly as Naughty Dog bullshot.
And the other one's
Alright.
about backwards capability.
Yeah.
Is this something? I think backwards capability it's going to die out.
It is, but not because of a lack of interest, but because I think it's a business decision. If these companies make their consoles backwards compatible, there's a lot of great games that I would have kept playing and continue to play to this day. I would have kept my PS3 for it. There's a couple of PS2 games I fucking love. Absolutely loved them. My number one favorite game in that was Dave Mirra Freestyle BMX. That was the last good, actually it was the last BMX game that was ever made that I can think of. I'm pretty sure it was the last one. I would still be playing that to this day. And that's why they don't want it. Because there are a lot of great games they made that if you remove them from your game library, you have to buy new games at some point, right?
You gotta fill in the time. Yeah, that
Yep.
is what bugs me. Like, it's my understanding of it from a business point of view, and the fact that if I was the CEO of Sony, I would sure as shit be making sure that the fucking PS4 could not play PS3 games. No offense to gamers, but fuck you guys. I'm here to, like, you know, please the shareholders. That's just how it is.
Yep, that's what it comes down to.
PS4 had been backward compatible. I would have bought it the second it released.
And I understand that, but it's my understanding of that that makes me hate it as a consumer. Like, how kind of wrong it is. And I said it in the notes that I'm a dude who loves hardware. Like, I fucking love old hardware. We've got tons of old consoles in the house. But I still want to be able to just take that game and just play it on whatever is plugged in now. You know, I don't want to have to go and, like, plug in this old thing and find a fucking... The worst thing, it absolutely is having to keep an old-ass fucking TV
Yep.
that you can play the shit on. Like, that is the worst element of the whole shit scenario. It's a pain in the ass. This fucking horrible ass non-flat screen, non-small, thin, sleek, modern looking lump of shit.
Where are all my pixels? Where are all my pixels?
Where the pixels at, yo?
Yeah, it's a pain in the ass.
All right. Jess, do you have anything else you wanted to add?
No. Well,
Alright.
Nintendo still does the backwards compatibility, but which I liked for the Wii because I still played GameCube games. I love Twilight Princess. But the Wii U backward compatible doesn't really interest me because I fucking hated the Wii, other than Skyward Sword. But I appreciate that Nintendo keeps it in there.
It's like, that's kind of like the thing with Nintendo, right? Their games library isn't hugely extensive, so get where you can where you can.
Do you think the actual hardware though is an issue here, like emulating the old hardware to the new?
Yeah, there's definitely like an architecture difference as well, undoubtedly. But I don't care.
But they couldn't work around that. Like,
the
yeah,
PS3
exactly.
is considerably different to the PS4 in terms of its architecture.
Yeah, like I'm a consumer, so with my consumer hat on, I'm opting not to give a fuck about that. Like I don't want to hear about it. Like, as a consumer, like this is going to sound cruel, but this is just the way it is. Eventually, a business gets so big. Like when it comes to game developers, I understand that they're individual humans who are working hard to make a game. And Jesus Christ, even when your game is a lump of shit, I try to understand that you probably worked hard on it. But when I'm thinking of a brand, like when I'm thinking of Sony or EA, fuck those guys. I don't care that they're large amalgamations of individual human beings. I could give a shit. I'm dealing with you as a multi-billion-dollar thing. And as a multi-billion-dollar thing, you go the extra fucking mile or I don't buy your shit. And that's why I own neither a PS4 nor a fucking Xbox One. They don't interest me in the slightest as a consumer because there's nothing they offer me.
Agreed.
They offer me something else to put on a shelf that I have to plug out when I want to plug in my PS2 and play iNinja. That's it.
I was promised next gen, not kind of next gen, so I'll wait for the real next gen.
I'll take The Last of Us Remastered all day day.
I do want to play that
And
still.
Infamous and
Never gonna get
Bloodborne.
that opportunity. Oh well. All right, before we wrap it up, Patreon again. If you guys haven't checked it out, Jess, if you could please drop the link in the chat. We'd appreciate it if you guys can help us out. Seriously, it really does. We're able to. I mean, we got faster servers to the website. We've already got a game server. We've got. We already pre-ordered. I know it sounds kind of weird. We pre-ordered a server for Battlefield Hardline. That is what all the Patreon voters. That was the majority vote. They had a pre-order deal, like ridiculously cheap, almost half the cost to pre-order a Hardline server as it is right now for a Battlefield 4 server. Doesn't make any sense, but hey, we got it. We've got a community TeamSpeak that anyone is free to use at any point. It's a 50-slot TeamSpeak for Dawnbreaker Gaming. But again, anyone can use it at any point. If you guys are in there and you see us, feel free to give us a little poke, say hi. We're friendly. Don't be bashful. Other than that, also, if anyone has any interest whatsoever in doing any review, it doesn't have to be a written review. I want to make that clear. It doesn't even have to be a review even. It could be an impression. It can be done by a video. If you want to do something tech-related, like a hardware review, then, I mean, we welcome it all. That all fits within what it is that we're trying to do with Dawnbreaker Gaming. So if that's on your radar, it's something you want to do, go right ahead. The submissions details is right there on the website. It's very easy to find. Last but not least, Jack, thank you very much for being a guest on this, man. We appreciate it. I hope you enjoyed yourself for the night. Hopefully it was a little different from what you normally do. I don't know.
It was terrible. Like, I just want to kill myself now. Honestly, it was really cool. Like, it's been a really good chat, and I think we covered some interesting topics. Hopefully, everyone in the chat was entertained and had a good time. Yeah, thanks for inviting me.
You're welcome. Well, that's what I like about doing this. It's all community driven, so there's no pressure for us to come up with anything. So it really helps to remove the potential monotony of what's discussed. And it's just another way to get the community involved. And like I said, it always keeps everything really fresh. Occasionally we do host topics if there's something that we've been wanting to discuss ourselves that doesn't come up. But for the most part, it's just all community driven. It gets everyone involved, and it is a lot of fun. So I'm glad you came on. I'm glad you had fun. And if you're interested, we'll definitely have you back again sometime soon. We're always looking to rotate out hosts and stuff. It works out pretty well.
Except for me. I never leave. The star of this show. Deal with it.
It's because we can't get rid of you. All right,
Same
that's it.
difference as far as I'm concerned.
for everyone that's watching, thank you very, very much to anyone that either tweeted out the stream or, retweeted anyone else's tweet from within. That is hugely helpful. Got a lot of viewers tonight. We were over 100. I think I saw 112 at one point. It was in the 100 something. That was awesome. Usually we're only in low 40s, upper 30s. So thank you very much to all the new viewers. We appreciate it. If you guys haven't followed yet and you're interested, go ahead. We do the GameSpeak every single Monday night at about 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time. So it'd be 5 o'clock p.m. Pacific, West Coast, U.S., and 1 a.m. GMT. I know it's pretty late for those in Europe. Unfortunately, that's the earliest I can do given what time my wife works and, I have to worry about my 2-year-old son. Other than that, that's going to be it. There is, if you guys want to put up topics for next week, oh my God, I almost forgot to say this. Next week's guest, we have Johnny Ethko, John Abspro from Hank and Jed. Also, Battlefield Friends. He is the engineer in Battlefield Friends. We're going to have him on next week, and that's going to be a lot of fun. So go ahead and drop comments for next week's topics. We'd appreciate it. And that's it. Everyone have a wonderful night, and we will catch you guys on the GameSpeak podcast next Monday.
See you, nerds.
Bye.
Bye.